Right now, somewhere in a playlist you've already queued up, there's a song sitting inside of a spreadsheet. Not a best of list, but a data set. Millions of rows, millions of songs, and the artist may never have signed off on any of it. I'm not going to tell you which song yet, but here's a hot take. Everyone's been arguing about whether AI is going to take your job, but almost nobody's asking the more boring, the more important question. Where did the AI's homework actually come from, and who's on the hook when it turns out it was copied? I'm Ryan Ali, this is the GenZEO Playbook podcast, and today we're breaking down the Atlantic's AI watchdog project. Here's the timeline. It's currently 2023, and a writer named Alex Reisner is digging through something called Books 3. It's a dataset. It's 183,000 books pulled from pirate sources sitting inside of AI training data. So Reisner decides to build a tool. Authors can search their own name, find their own books, but nobody asked them first. That single investigation ends up cited inside of real lawsuits. Sarah Silverman, Michael Chabon, Paul Tremblay, all suing Meta over it. Reisner doesn't stop there. He builds a second tool. This one is way bigger. Over 7.5 million books pulled from something called LibGen. Then it's November 2024. He turns to Hollywood, movie and TV dialogue, scraped and used to train AI systems. Then we jump to June 2026. He goes after music. 4 datasets. 2 of them are small with just over 100,000 tracks each, but the other 2 are not small. One has 9 million tracks, and the other has 12 million. All put together, that's 21 million songs total, sitting inside of datasets that get shared and get downloaded inside of the AI developer world. Some names attached are Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, and Bad Bunny. That's the song I wasn't telling you about earlier, except it's not just one song, but it's an entire industry-backed catalog. By now, Reisner's built himself a name. He runs the actual AI Atlantic Watchdog project with books, video, dialogue, music. He's basically become the industry's most persistent receipt keeper. So here's the real story, and this is where the headlines get lazy. Most coverage of the story goes to AI companies are stealing your stuff. Outrage, outrage, outrage. But it's not all wrong, but it's not useful either. Here's the useful part. The Atlantic's own tool does not confirm any specific song, book, or script was actually used to train a specific AI model, but what it does confirm is that the data existing in datasheets is known to circulate inside of the AI developer world. So being in a pile isn't the same as being used. That's the real story, and it's not theft only, but it's a chain of custody problem. Nobody who built the actual model necessarily pirated anything themselves. They downloaded a data set and that somebody else built, who had scraped it from someone else, who pulled it off a site that had been pirated in the first place. By the time this lands in a foundation model, it's already 3 owners deep. And here's the part that should actually worry you if you're a founder. This isn't hypothetical anymore, there's already a real number attached to it. Anthropic, one of the biggest AI labs in the world, agreed to pay at least $1.5 billion to settle a class action lawsuit by a group of authors whose books were used in training data. Not a warning, not a fine, but a $1.5 billion settlement, and an agreement to destroy the datasets in question. This is not a someday risk. This has already happened. This is not the only one that is live right now. Universal Music Group and Sony Music are actively trying to add over 61,000 more recordings to their existing lawsuit against Suno, one of the AI music generation companies. That case isn't settled, it's ongoing right now as you're listening to this. So no, this story isn't about whether the Atlantic caught a few AI companies with their hands in the cookie jar. It's about the fact that almost every AI product built in the last 3 years is standing on a foundation model that nobody fully audited, including maybe the one you're planning to build your startup on top of. So why exactly does this matter to Gen Z founders? Alright, so here's the thing most 19-year-old with a ChatGPT wrapper founders don't think about. You don't need to scrape a single website to be exposed to this. You just need to build on top of the model that already did. That's not fear-mongering, it's just an underwritten risk that nobody prices in the idea stage. So think about what this actually looks like in practice. You build a music generation feature into your app using a third-party API. You never touch a single pirated file, but if the API's underlying model was trained on one of those 21 million datasets, and there's an active lawsuit file tied to it, your product just inherited legal exposure that you didn't create and cannot fully see. This is also quietly becoming a competitive advantage, not just a risk to avoid, but an actual pitch. Clean data is starting to look less of a legal checkbox and more of a trust signal. So steal this move. Dataset receipts. You don't need a legal team to start protecting yourself here. You just need 3 habits. Number 1, ask before you build. Before you commit to an AI vendor, model, or API for your product, look into the model card or data statement, because most serious labs publish something. If they don't, just ask directly. 1 email, 1 DM. What can you tell me about your training data sourcing? If they dodge it, that's information as well. Number 2, keep a receipt stock. 1 page. Make sure to list every AI model or tool that your product depends on. Next to each one, know what's publicly known about its data sourcing. Settled, disputed, undisclosed, and make sure to update it every quarter, as this becomes your own internal AI watchdog. And step 3, make clean data your pitch line, not your footnote. If your receipt stock comes back clean, don't bury that in a terms of service page. Say it out loud to investors, to users, to the press. We know exactly what our AI is built on, is a sentence that almost nobody in this space can say confidently right now. And so that becomes your opening. So who is Alex Reisner in the GenZEO Playbook podcast? Well, he's not a villain, but he's neither a hero. He's a receipt keeper at an industry scale, exactly the kind of audit that every one of us should be running on our own right now. So if you want more breakdowns like this with real founders, real frameworks, and no fluff, subscribe to the GenZEO Playbook podcast on YouTube. It's free and it helps out a ton. And make sure to drop a comment with which AI tool in your current stack have you never actually checked the data sourcing on. Be honest, because that's step 1 of your own receipt stock, and you might as well start now. Once again, I'm Ryan Ali. This is the GenZEO Playbook podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.